Andrea, you've worked with Kate before, so I was really interested in what stood out about working with her behind the camera since you had that pre-existing relationship. Did it feel different any?
Kate has already she's always, I think, always been a creative person who holds a lot in every space. So when she's number one on set, she really takes that responsibility on, and is very good at caring for everybody. This felt like a very natural extension of that, given her many decades of experience in film. She knows technically how everything works with in a seamless and thorough way, and she has the huge emotional capacity, and that's a very rare combination actually for those two things to exist in a director, to be emotionally very astute and also technically have all of the knowledge. So she's one of the most knowledgeable directors I've ever worked with for that reason, and it was a real seamless joy.
That's incredible. And Tony, I thought you were lovely in this film. Helen's such a free spirit, and although she shouldn't wear yellow, she's very lively and part of this film that's so centered around grief. You have emotional moments, but what did you like most about bringing some levity and good vibes to this film? Because she plays a really important role.
Oh, thank you for recognizing that. I love that she wears yellow. Like, she is sunshine. She's so positive and she works at that, you know. I think she moved away from this family for a reason. I think she's someone who she's dedicated her life to betterment and like really finding her sovereign self and really journeying and becoming one with the entire cosmos. And that's not a small undertaking, you know, and it comes from a place of maybe a little bit of emotional lack. So having to return to her family, and I think that's why she has that meditation as she's arriving in the taxi where she's like creating, a wall of light around herself to protect herself. And what she learns is that actually she can be herself and she's accepted within this group of people, and she kind of returns to the fold during this story. But it was really fun to play her, honestly. I love people who just have the guts to be themselves, because it allows everybody else around them to relax as well. You know what you're dealing with. But yes, she was definitely very, very fun. I'm very fond of her. I miss her.
Yeah, it's a great role, and Andrea, this movie made me tear up several times. But the most like emotional moment was when you and Kate finally had that heart to heart as sisters, and finally communicate openly after all these years of not being able to do that. How was it filming that scene in the hallway? Because it just felt so honest and true. I love that scene.
Well, it was actually years in the making, but then also practically it was months in the making, that scene, because we actually went through about 2 months before we started to shoot the film. Kate and I went there with the camera crew and our camera op, and very just small reduced crew, and recce'd that space in a way, and began to speak the scene. There were then 11 different versions of that scene, so all of its different incarnations with notes and different things that Joe had taken in. We actually ended up shooting it in its purest form as it came out. We actually really shot the first version that he'd written. In the end,
sometimes you have to go on that journey.
You
to
do.
Get back to
you
a
have
place
to.
Of...
Yeah, it was really, really. By the time we got there and to do it, it was such a huge release.
Yeah.
It was really special, a moment that I'll never forget. And I cannot believe that Joe Anders, our writer, at 19, was able to capture so much confusion, humility, human experience. It's just astounding, really.